Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and today we're talking Spider-Man Homecoming because we got Spider-Man and the Vulture, Michael Keaton and Tom Holland. Doesn't look anything like them. Something's wrong here. Anyway, let's get into it. This is Hasbro Marvel Legends. Yes, this is Whatcha Figure. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are looking at the Spider-Man retro versions of Spider-Man and Marvel's Vulture. As you can see, not the Homecoming versions, which I did not get. I'm totally collecting all of this line, which is why we're going with this, obviously, today. Not the Tom Holland and Michael Keaton, which are awesome actors. I love those movies. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about these guys right here. And I love this TV show. And I have all of the packaging for these guys. The VHS packaging. This is the last one they're doing, apparently. They said in Hasbro, they said they were going to kind of put this on a shelf. They're not going to be doing the VHS packaging anymore. So I'm excited that I have the last one. But before we have to look at the figures, let's take a look at the packaging. And boom, here we go. We have the Spider-Man Retro Series packaging with the VHS style look. Spider-Man versus Marvel's Vulture. Marvel's Vulture, that's very specific. You can't just say Vulture because it could be anybody else. But it's Marvel's Vulture, obviously. So it's got the classic kind of artwork that you get with these Retro Series packaging, like the old cartoon. Looks like Spider-Man, looks like Vulture. That's the young version of him, obviously, from the cartoon when he did that. He would suck to people's youth and then he would be young again. And then you go to the side here and you got more images of them right there. Classic Spider-Man symbol right there. And then you got some images of the figures themselves in their CG rendering. A bunch of gobbledygook right there. If you want to go ahead and read that, go right ahead. And then you got the classic VHS style look right there. That looks really cool. They're going to look really cool next to my other ones that I have as well too. There's a whole bunch of these, but they said this is going to be the end of this line, at least for the time being anyways. And then you go to the top, you got the classic Spider-Man logo right there from the cartoon series. And then you go to the bottom, you get that as well too. And then that is going to be it for the packaging. There's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. And out of the packaging, here we have Spider-Man and Vulture. And they do come with a decent amount of accessories. Still no webs though. Still no webs. Don't know what's going on, Hasbro. Anywho, we got Spider-Man here. We got all of his accessories. Let's take a look at some of his accessories, starting with these hands right here. So these hands are gonna be some gripping hands, gonna be some holding hands. I'm not too sure what he's supposed to be holding, because again, he doesn't come with any webs. And it's not like Spider-Man has weapons or anything like that. What the heck is he going to be holding? Unless he just, maybe he's grabbing onto his wings or something like that as he's flying. I'm not sure why they give us these holding hands. But you know what? It's something different. I'm not used to having holding hands for Spider-Man. Maybe some wall crawling hands would have been nice too, because I always like having those, but not necessary. And then it's also got these two, give me this hat. These two punching hands here, so he's got these fists of fury as classic Spider-Man does. He's got to punch his bad guys. He's got to take them out. You know, it's classic Spider-Man. He's a superhero. He's got to punch his bad guys. So that's what these fists are for. Looking good. You got the good webbing. They got the reds. Everything looks really well done. And then you also got this right here, which I'm not used to seeing, but they got an unmasked mask right here. It's got like a bit of a curve to it, so you can kind of put it in his hand. So maybe that's what you can do with these hands. Maybe you can have him holding his mask. But even that, it's a bit loose if that's what you do. Maybe that's what the idea is. You put it in this hand and it's like, I refuse to be Spider-Man anymore, and he takes off the mask, and that's the whole idea there. It looks like classic Spider-Man taking his mask off. That's what that kind of goes with. That's what that kind of looks like anyways. And then you got these two heads right here. So we got another Peter Parker head, which I do believe is different than the other Peter Parker head that we got with actually Peter Parker. I'll do some comparisons afterwards. I'm not 100% sure if it was that much different. Maybe it's exactly the same. It could be. Got the beautiful blue eyes. He's got himself some beautiful lips there. Looks really good. Looks like Peter Parker does from the cartoon. And then you have this head here. You might be wondering, who's this guy with the blonde hair? This looks like tough, gruff, asshole kind of look. That is Flash Thompson. That guy does not like Peter Parker. But ironically, he's a big fan of Spider-Man. And at one point in the show, and I think in the comics as well too, he dresses up as Spider-Man. And they wrongfully accuse him of being Spider-Man, which is kind of funny. So I guess that's at least they could do that. They give us an extra head that we don't have yet. So we got a Flash Thompson here, which is kind of cool. He's the jock. He's the jerk that always picks on Peter Parker. But let's take a look at Spider-Man right here. So I mean, I don't know if we really needed another Spider-Man. We have tons of Spider-Mans. Regular red and blue Spider-Mans in this line already. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain. If I had to get a Vulture by getting a Spider-Man 2, I'm all right with that. But it looks good. He's got the reds and the blues. And one little thing I noticed is the bit of the gappage of the webbing around the Spider-Man logo. I'm not too sure if that's how he was in this cartoon. I can't quite remember, but that's the one thing I noticed is different, and maybe his eyes might be a little bit different than some of the other Spider-Mans that I have. But he looks cool. I like the blues and I like the reds, and he's got a hole in the back. So I can't remember what Spider-Man would have had a hole in the back. What version of Spider-Man this was? What buck this is from? But that's yeah, that's what they're going with. They got this version of Spider-Man. So he obviously doesn't have the toe articulation, so he's not the Renew Your Vows one. But let's look at some articulation while we are here. Take a look at the head. The head goes back really well, which I do love, and goes down really well. So that's really good. Nice to see on Spider-Man. And then you got the side to side, not very much, a little bit, but he does go all the way around, which is good. And then he's got the arms that go up really well like that. They go all the way around like that. And then you got the bicep swivel, really good there. And then you got the double jointed elbow, so he can go ahead and flip himself in the face. And then he's also got the good movement of the wrist, that ways, this ways, lots of movement there. And then you've also got the butterfly joint, which I didn't mention as well. Awesome butterfly joint, always good to have that as well too. And then you also got the ab crunch going back like that, decent. Forward, even better, really well done. And you got some waist swivel right there. And then you've also got the legs go out really well like that, good splits. They go forward like that, and they go back about like that. Got a bit of a thigh cut right there, so it goes all the way around. And then you got the double jointed knees. Boom, there you go, kick his own butt. And then you got the also the cut right here. Did I say thigh cut? Yes, this is thigh cut. You also got the boot cut right here, so you got the movement all the way around right there. Really nice to have that. And you also got the ankle rocker, really good rocker. Holy cow, this really spins around. And then you got the toe ballerina pose, and you got the up as well. So he's got really good articulation. It's a good model of Spider-Man. He doesn't have any pins, so that's always nice to have as well too. And there's no toe articulation, which is not necessary anyways. But yeah, he looks good. He's in good shape. He does a good job of articulating. Maybe not the best, maybe not the worst. So he fits in well with my other Spider-Man. Now let's take a look at the Vulture right here, or Adrian Toomes as he's usually known. This is obviously the younger version of the Vulture, but let's look at some of his accessories first. Here we have some hands, and so these are supposed to be like metallic hands, I guess. It's got like a really shiny sheen plastic to it. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like his did. It's definitely a different kind of plastic than a lot of his is. But it looks cool. It's got I like the lighter green that he's going with. It's almost like a glowing green kind of color. It does not glow, but it does look cool. So got the fists obviously there. And he has this head, this bald head, the old man head. This is like your classic Vulture. This is what you think of when you think of the Vulture. Is the classic bald old man Vulture. No hair, just scowly, really angry, just nothing makes him happy, just always mad at everybody. And that's what this one kind of looks like. That's how he reminds me of. And this is probably the head I'm going to go with, because this is the Vulture that I'm used to seeing anyways. Even if this is the young version of him that was in the cartoon, this is the one I'm going to probably go with. And then you also got the wings, which I have not put on yet. So he's got this part of the wing right here that attaches to, it goes to the back of the arm right here. You can see these slots in him, so that is where this one's gonna go, like that, and then this one will go right here. And it looks really cool when they're on. I like the way that looks. It looks really awesome. But for articulation's sake, I'm gonna take these off for now, just so you can kind of see how his articulation is. But let's look at him actually first before I do the articulation. And I like this face. This is a really cool face. It's I love the hair. This is really good detailed hair, and it's a shame that he went from this to this. What happened to Adrian Toomes? I mean, I know you aged, but look at that. That's a beautiful face with beautiful hair. And then you have this. My goodness. You did not age well. But let's look at the rest of him. He's also got some really cool armor. I like all of the lighter greens, and then there's like 3 different accents of green. Like it's like a light yellowy green with like a different kind of green, like almost like a aqua green, and then a darker green. Really well done. And then he's got also these like cartridges. I'm not quite sure what these cartridges are for. Maybe for like zapping or stinging or whatever he does. What kind of weapon he uses. I know he uses his wings a lot, and he throws feathers. Maybe that's what these are. Maybe he's like replenishing his feather ammunition. And he has a gun there too, which you can't take out. It's just in the holster forever. So classic Adrian Toomes got that gun on him. And it looks really good. I like the way this actually turned out. This is a really cool looking figure, and it definitely looks more like him from the actual cartoon. But while we're here, let's look at some of his articulation. Starting with the head. Head goes back only that far because he has that awesome mullet of his. And then forward like that. So not nearly as much articulation as Spider-Man did, but still a decent amount. And then the head goes side to side and all the way around as well. And then the arm goes up about that much. Maybe it's just stiff, I'm not 100% sure, but right now, as far as I can get. And he does have these shoulders, these pauldrons that are kind of also hindering a little bit too, but he does have a bicep swivel as well too, and he has double jointed elbows, and they go in quite a ways, pretty good. That's a decent amount right there. Actually, you know, it goes in a little bit further even. You can go even further. There we go. Look at that. It goes even better than I was saying. Look at that. Be patient. Be patient with me. I got to move these wrists around like that, and then they move them back and forward. So you got more of the clawed hands right here that are on him right now. And then you got the ab crunch. Ooh, look at that ab. That's an awesome ab crunch. And then back, really well done too. So when he flies, unfortunately his head can't go back very good for when he's flying, so you can't like have him looking up, but that is because of the mold. You can't really help that much. And then you've also got the legs go out like that, really well done. They go forward like so and back like so. And then you also got a good thigh cut right there. I like that it's hidden by this this band that he wears around his legs. That's awesome. I like that they did that. It's really well done. And then he's also got the double jointed knees, so he can kick his own butt. Really well done there as well too. And then you also got the ankle rocker. No cut of the boot right there, just the thigh cut up there, which is okay. He's not going to be doing a whole lot of kicks anyways. Got the good toe ballerina pose. You got the good up for the foot as well too. Really good movement. Also got the waist swivel, if I didn't say that already too. So really good movement. This guy is awesome. He feels good in hand. He's got good plastics. He's got lots going for him. So next up, let's take a look at these guys with some different poses and some different figures that I might have in this line. And I'll definitely have his wings on when I do that as well too. So stay tuned for that. Hey, hope you're enjoying this episode so far, and if you are, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave some comments down below. I am CountryBoyNiner with an underscore in there somewhere, also known as CountryBoyNiner. A bunch of different platforms like the Twitter, like the TikTok, like the Twitch, and the Instagrams, and also here. But I'm also on the channel with my friends called Wasted Opinions. We have a blast making videos. We actually did a review of Spider-Man Homecoming one time, so go ahead and check that out. Go back to our channel and check that out. It was a few years ago when that movie came out. We had a great time watching that video, and you should check out what we said about it. But before we talk about that, let's get back to this figures of Spider-Man and Vulture. And for a little bit of a measurement, we'll throw in the measurement of Spider-Man here. He's about 6¼ inches, not quite 6½, which is maybe a little bit tall for Spider-Man. But you know what? I mean, they've been kind of scaling that ways recently with Spider-Man's. He's been a little bit bigger. He's still smaller than like the big guys, which is good. But I think he kind of measures about the same as Adrian Toomes here, the Vulture. Yeah, he's about at the 6¼ almost 6½ inch range too. So I mean, he is again, he's an older man, so he could be just shrinking. He's not a big guy. I am liking the way these guys are both looking. I like the blues and the reds. It's just a classic Spider-Man. He's not much different than some of the other Spider-Mans that I have, so maybe I didn't need him, but you know what? You kind of got to pay the Spider-Man tax in order to get your Vulture, which I definitely want. I've wanted the Sinister Six, and now I have a version of the Sinister Six anyways. Both these guys look really well done. I'm happy with how they both turned out. I can't really fault much of the things that they have. Maybe just the fact that it's an older buck for this guy. This guy, I can't really complain. He's really cool. Maybe the fact that he doesn't articulate when he has the wings on as much, but you can't really do anything about that. It's just, that's how you're going to get the Vulture. But with some comparisons here, I thought I'd throw in this Peter Parker since I got the other head here. You can see that they are very, very similar. The hair is definitely the same. This slightly smirked face here. Maybe the skin tone's a bit darker in this guy too. Let's just bring them up a little bit closer here. So you can see their faces are basically the same. There is a bit of a skin tone difference on this guy. He's got more of a lighter skin tone, I guess, than this guy. He's got more of a pinkish hue. This guy's more of a yellowish white hue. It's very similar. It is the same face. There you go. Same face, same hair, everything's the same, just the skin tone is slightly different. But then the next comparison I'll throw in here is another member of the Sinister Six, so let's go with Mysterio. This is a really cool character. This version of him I'm not the hugest fan of, but he does fit in with these characters, and he came in the retro card, so I'm glad I have him. I kind of wish they would do another version of him, maybe a more cartoon accurate version of him, but he definitely fits in the size wise and looks wise. He goes with the Sinister Six. Looks really cool. And then another guy I'll throw in here, another guy from the Sinister Six. You got Sandman, boom, who definitely was not in the actual cartoon, but they did a good job of making him anyways, because he definitely is a character that you kind of want. He would have been in the show eventually, but they never got around to making him in the show. But they made him as an action figure, which is awesome. I love having him. He's got the awesome fists, and he fits in really well with these characters. And the last comparison I'll throw in here is another Spider-Man figure. I gotta throw in this guy right here because it's just the colors are very similar. It's just very, very close. He's a little bit shorter, which I like. I like that he's smaller than that guy. So I kind of wish this guy was this size. And you can see the blues are definitely darker on this guy than that guy. This guy's the cell shading going on. So he has some of the dark blues, but this guy's all dark blues. And yeah, you know, I think I'm going to prefer this guy. This guy's got more of the thicker body that I think that Spider-Man had in the old cartoon, because he was more of a muscular guy. He wasn't so skinny. But this is kind of the Spider-Man that I think of, you know, from the comic books and all that stuff. I guess this is a little more accurate to the cartoon. This is more accurate to the comic books and everything. But you know what, that is going to do it for this comparison. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed playing with these guys. And as I like to say, I am Country Boy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla. But as always, be sure to let me know what you figure.